What are you reading, Elana?
Oh, you know, just the 1978 Emissions Control Service Training Manual. I'm trying to get ready to talk about our new car here. It might come as a surprise to you to find out that it is a 1978 Dodge Monaco.
Look at that.
Look at that. This is a car that Tom has been wanting for a long time, and we finally tracked one down. We bought it, and now we're pretty much ready to star in our own police procedural from any time in the 1980s.
I don't want to be Hunter.
I do want to be McCall. All right, so 1978 Dodge Monaco. That is like a mid-size. The Monaco is now a mid-size Chrysler car. Back in the 60s, it was a full-size car. Monacos have been used as police cars for a long time. I mean, like...
Actually, most police cars were Polaras, which is the downgraded Monaco. This is kind of upscale.
And then the Plymouth version was the Fury. So this was, in fact, a police package car. This not like a patrol car. I mean, it doesn't have like a cage or in it or rubber mats, and I don't think it ever even had like a shotgun or a radio in it. It's kind of hard to tell. So maybe it was a top dog's car, but we got it, and it has paperwork from the Iowa State Patrol. And the reason that it's cool to have a police car is not because we want to be police. It's because they got engines that the normal buying public did not get in 1978. So if you were buying a Monaco in 78, I don't even think you could get a 440. You could get maybe like a 318 or a 360 or something.
You could get up to a 400.
The government could get a 440 Magnum, which was the best engine that Chrysler had at the time. And now it's the best engine that we have at the time. Tom, why don't you tell people why this car's so special?
All right, let's do it. So, the neighbor's out flying his airplane again, you know. I don't know why we can't stop him. So this car, I almost had one of these when I was a kid. When I was 15, my dad took me to a city auction. He's like, we're going to get you your first car. I'm like, great. He says, what do you want? I said, well, I want one of these. He said, what do you want one of those for? And I said, well, you know, I watched the Dukes of Hazzard. You see the orange Charger and all that, but this car always caught that car. And I'm like, well, this is the faster car. So that's the one I want to get. And so we were at this auction in Los Angeles, and we got outbid. $1,400 my dad bid for one of these and didn't get it. That same day, we bid on a blue one. And this was an LAPD auction. And we got the blue one for $275 because it was pouring down rain this auction. And prior to this, my dad really didn't want this car. He's like, I don't know why you want that, but we'll get it for you. After he got it for $275, he's like, the city is giving away these freaking cars. We're going to go back again. We're going to keep buying them. So he was all on board. But this is sort of the car I missed out on because we got outbid on the white one originally. And now I've got it finally, but it took a long time.
Your dad would not be impressed with the price that you paid for it now.
No.
All right, let's take a closer look at it.
Let's do that.
All right, so first let's look at this big Monaco Grill right here. It's funny because sort of like from the side, the car looks more old school 70s, and then you get around to here and you're like, oh, that's starting to look 80s with those stacked rectangular headlights.
Very modern, Elana.
Kind of the plastic egg crate in there, and I think it's sort of an interesting crossover period. Same with the back. It's got a rear bumper with the lights that are in the bumper. It's kind of a strange specialty thing.
When you buy any emission control car, you need to have lots of books to work on it from this era. And so I've got an assortment of books I've compiled. Here is the Dodge police brochure that they gave to governments to buy their vehicles. And you can see the Monaco is a Monaco Pursuit, a trustworthy partner for any lawman. It's I think it's a very cool looking car. And you can pause your video and read all the details later if you want, but it's a pretty cool.
Well, go open that up one more time just so that we can give people a quick preview of the optional heavy-duty cloth and vinyl seat with the tapestry pattern, which I believe is what we have.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So you got to have these books. Of course, we've got the electronic lean burn book, because this car is electronic lean burn, which is a computerized ignition system.
And that was a very early emissions and mileage type technology.
Yep. 1978 parts book. You gotta have that. That's the overview of the trunk. Our little, if anybody knows where to get these, I don't know if they reproduce it. I need a new mat.
The trunk smells like 1978. Not bad. It has that sort of like sweet plastic smell. I don't know how to describe it, but if you've ever been in a car of this era, you'll know what I'm talking about. Kind of like pipe smoke.
It could be, but I hope the cops weren't doing that.
So I'm into this bumper. I think it looks really cool. The amber lights, I think, are a new thing for this year as well.
It's a European influence. I think the Mustang 2 might have been the first car to have amber lights like this, but the 77 and 8 Dodges did too.
And I think this is the only badge on the entire car.
That's on the outside, yeah.
Yeah. Let's go look at the inside.
Here, this is where YouTube rides. We put you guys in the back.
So yeah, I'm just thinking that there wasn't a whole lot of drunks being stuck in this carpeted and tapestry back seat. It's in very good shape. We've got, maybe a cigarette burn, a little bit of wear there. Somebody with greasy hair maybe was sitting in this back seat because there is a stain in the headliner. It's tragic. Tom, put that car back. We need our money back.
Let me open the front. This is where the business people ride. That's some fancy camera work, Elana.
Now I'm stuck though, so you better take it.
So it's kind of funny. It has a tilt wheel, which is optional. It has a fancy rear window defogger button and the rear trunk popper, which is kind of an upgrade.
Trunk popper? That a technical term?
Yeah, that's what they called it back then. The certified police speedometer. It's got full gauges, which is pretty rare for a late 70s car of any kind.
Did they mostly just have lights by that point? Idiot lights?
Mostly idiot lights. It has a radio, which most police cars did not have. It has carpeting, which most police cars did not have. So this was maybe, I don't know exactly how the government spends our money, but it was like a lieutenant's car or a captain's car, or who the hell knows what they bought with it. But I'm glad they did. It's got the fancy steering wheel, which is upside down right now.
I think it looks better that way. I think it's weird that it's supposed to be the other way.
Nice door panel.
Want me to pop the hood for you?
Yeah, let's do that. It's down there. You go. It's in the Chrysler lingo, it's an A38 package car, which is the police car special, which basically means it's a special handling car. It's got 3 fender tags. It's got cruise control, which is not common on police cars of this era. It's got the electronic lean burn system, the electronic spark control system, depending on which decal you want to read. It's a 440, the high performance one. What else we got in here, Elana? It's this engine, like Elana mentioned earlier, was only sold to the government. Private citizen could not buy this in '78. Also, this is 255. I've been waiting for the airplane to fly over. 255 horsepower net, which was rated at 4,000 RPM, which I find highly amusing because these engines actually rev to 5,500. So I don't know, what the actual net horsepower is, probably 300 is what I'm trying to spit out.
Now, wasn't this package, this government package, one of the last projects that Tom Hoover from the Ram Chargers worked on for Chrysler?
I had read that the Chrysler Race Group people were put on police cars in '77 and '8 because the racing had stopped. I don't know if it's true, but that's what I read somewhere or saw in an interview. I can't remember exactly. But this has a lot of drag racer influences in it. The engine is very capable. Despite the lean burn having the bad reputation, it's actually a really good system, especially in this year because they modernized it from the prior lean burn systems. This is fully electronic timing control, which is what you want.
I also very much like the battery thermoguard we got right here, which is sort of, it's the wiper bottle, washer bottle, and then it wraps around the battery. So what, you don't get a hot battery?
That is a side benefit. I think they just didn't have room to make another bottle somewhere. It has a 100 amp police car alternator, which doesn't sound that big in the modern world, but 100 amps back then, these are big amps. They're real amps. Dual snorkel air cleaner. One is fresh air, one is open air.
Now, this car wasn't easy to buy because the guy who had it before you didn't actually want to sell it. You sort of found out about it via rumor, and then you just hassled the guy until he...
Well, I've been looking for this type of car for a long time. These cars, I don't think there's 25 of them left in the world because of the Dukes of Hazzard, Hunter, the Blues Brothers, all these old shows ruined all the Chrysler police cars.
Listen to this guy. This is not how he used to talk, but now that he owns one of these cars, he's like, they shouldn't have crashed all those cars.
Well, this car drives really nice, and it's a shame that they were all bent and wadded up.
Look, it makes this one worth more.
Yeah, I'm not selling it. When I'm dead, somebody else will have this car. So this is the fastest domestic automobile you could buy in the United States in 1978. It was 12 miles an hour faster than the best Corvette that you could buy. 140 mile an hour top speed in its basic package. It has 271 gears, which is pretty long-legged. It's got the police wheels, which are vented for cooling. These cutouts are for getting more air to it. It's got front and rear sway bars, cop shocks.
I don't think I can get all the way under there, but you can have a little look there. Before Tom goes into the entire Blues Brothers listing, which is what always happens if you are talking about any police car package.
Yeah. I think we should take this car for a drive, Elana. I'll even let you drive it.
Oh, risky.
Let's close the hood and go for a drive around the block. I really like the way these cars look. I think for a sedan of the era, they look pretty good. It says Monaco on the dash. Nowhere on the outside of the car does it say Monaco, which is kind of funny, but I think there were emblems, but not all of these cars had them.
One of the things I like about that emblem is you can see how because they made the script so fancy, they weren't able to actually cut out the entire emblem like they had in the mold making. In order for it to be strong enough, they had to have some plastic, so it's sort of like trying to...
That is a very geeky detail that only a mold maker would understand. Look at that. It's up and running.
Safety first.
So the Chrysler electronic lean burn basically means this engine runs at insane leanness, like 16:1 to 18:1 all the time, except when you're floored. When you're floored, it actually goes back to a more normal, like 13:1.
This is such a like late 70s, early 80s car thing where like you put on the shoulder belt and you're like, why? It's like just twisted no matter what. Like, why is it always twisted?
All right.
Smooth.
The car's very quiet. It has 4 mufflers on it. You feel very official driving it?
I feel like I am ready to bust some pimps and drug dealers, but also be a lone wolf and then get like chewed out back at the station by
you're talking about, you're reliving a Hunter episode.
Or a Bosch episode. I mean, isn't that just like every police show, They're always like kind of on their own, doing their own thing. The only one who's just really out there worried about the people.
You're going pretty fast. You gonna make this turn?
Yes.
Apparently it was no difficulty.
This is a. Have you not seen the car chases? I mean, to be fair, they don't make the turns very often, but they are really good at jumping.
Well, whenever you film anything, it has to be really aggressive for it to come out looking good. And so they were pretty aggressive with jumping these cars. Oh, it has a police light. We didn't cover this. Look at that.
Yeah.
And you can write your tickets.
I feel like that looks like the kind of light that would be in like someone's grandmother's like guest bathroom.
So, you know, people are going to be like, well, we haven't heard the thermoquad. They're going to want to hear sound. That sounded...
that sort of sound?
That was pretty good sound.
Yeah, I mean, it is a very, very noticeable sound. The starters on these cars, the thermoquad.
Let me give you guys.
You know, here's the sound that everybody's really prepared for.
There you go. Open her up. See, then you're supposed to flip around this turn and jump on it again so we can get the violators.
I know. All right, we better go home before the actual police officers show up.
Oh my God, these cars are too much fun. I would highly recommend you guys go out and find one for yourselves. What do you think? Is that a good recommendation? Here you go, guys. Until next time.